Alright, so forgive the quality on this video. It's going to be a little bit different because I'm on my backup tower. I'm getting my other tower taken care of, so the videos will be a little bit better later on. Give me about like a month or so and I'll be back to those. Anyway, as you'll know by the title, this is going to be a combo and item guide for Sun Wukong, and he's a little bit more detailed. Even if I wasn't doing an item build tutorial, like a guide, and I'm going to show you my personal item build on him, he's a bit more in depth. So before we even get in there, I'm going to go over these things, his skills real quick. And as you can see, he's very balanced, except he's never to be played as a support. Look at that one little dot there. Okay, now his passive is actually something I'm going to focus on a lot. You might hear me bring it up a few times in the video, because when it comes to his item build, that actually is very important. So his attack and defense increases as he gains levels. So as he gains levels, just in general, his attack and defense increase. So you don't have to do anything except play, and he's going to get an attack and defense buff. It's obvious he's supposed to be a bruiser, as you can see down there just by that. Like, he's supposed to go in, do damage, and be able to sustain and survive. So the next one is his clone attack. It's very straightforward. So he summons a clone when you tap A to do an additional attack. It doesn't interrupt your basic combo at all. It just flows seemingly through it. Same thing with his other skills. If you're doing a skill, you can continuously tap A until you run out of Chi orbs, or key orbs, however you like to say it. And you have 3 of those to go from that skill. So you have 3. Whenever you run out of them, of course, you can't summon any more clones. So his Q, he slams down his staff on his foes, doing damage and stunning them. It's pretty important that you actually get your stuns off. And any character that has a stun in their kit, I want y'all to realize this when y'all play this game. If you're playing a character and they have a stun in their kit, it's very important you land that stun. You can be punished for not landing these things. Even if you are a bruiser, you're not invincible. His next attack is Monkey Jab. Basically, he extends his staff and jabs you. Now, if you do this properly and you connect and you tap it, he keeps jabbing. The next thing is his Nimbus Cyclone. I'm going to just kind of do a too long, didn't read version of this one. He gets on his cloud, right? He flies and he spins his freaking staff. You can change the direction you're going. You don't have to go in a straight line. You can go left and right. And you have to hold the key to actually keep the skill going. Once you release the key, it's done. The skill stops. He will stop. Now his ult. This one I'm going to go into depth with as well, because there's a lot of ways you can mess this up and leave yourself very vulnerable. With that being said, he launches himself in the air and he slams his staff down in front of him and hits people, and of course it launches them as well, because how hard he is hitting them, or hitting the ground, it launches them in the air. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna start this up, pick another character. Let's see, since he has to get close to people, no, it probably wouldn't be. Yeah, she has high burst, so we're gonna do someone that should be a little bit difficult for me once we get going. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through a combo guide first. Then I'm gonna go through and show y'all how it would interact against another hyper. After which I'll actually go back and do the item guide. Alright. Now I am going to set him to the point where he can use this ult, just like on every one of my videos. I like to do that. I like to show y'all how it should look when you have your ultimate, when you have all that going. Now here we go. Basic combo, just like always. Again, I apologize for the quality of this video. It's not as high as the last one, but moving forward. So hold S. This is your basic combo. Pretty fancy. Alright, now the clones. Look at A. There's a little golden or yellow 3. That shows you how many clones you have at your disposal. So I hit A. It's 1 clone. I have 2. Now the line around the circle is filling up to give me another one. So once it fills, boom, I have 3 again. It turns gold. So there you go. Now there is a very short cooldown on that. But one thing you're going to want to be sure of is you don't just blow all these clones and leave yourself in a position where you have just let out all your damage and now you're just kind of stuck. So again, like I said, stunning is important if you do have a stun in your kit. So let's start with his Q, the Staff Slam. Simple, right? Nice little stun. Alright. Now, it does not have... Well, let me show you all this. It does not have any behind damage. This is important. You don't want to go too far on your... When I show you the Nimbus Cloud, you'll see why it's important. You don't want to get too far past the person you're trying to hit, because even if you're on top of them, there is no... Well, I guess if you're on top of them like this, because you're technically in front of them, but if you're on top of them like this per se... Oh, I'm sorry. No back damage. You have to actually be on them, or they have to be in front of you. It has some pretty good, decent reach, because the staff actually extends once it goes out. So it's not just going to be the length of the staff that you see. It actually extends. Alright, now for the monkey jabs. So if you connect with it, oh, you know, just a jab, right? No, that's what I was saying. You connect, keep tapping that bad boy, jabs come out. Alright, now the Nimbus Cloud. Remember, hold it, go forward, you can turn back around. And his ult. I want to show you all this again. Now, if I'm on it and it's glowing golden, obviously it's going to hit him. But if they're behind me, nothing. Absolutely nothing. His ult is basically a more powerful version of the Staff Slam. And instead of a stun, it's a knockup. Well, that was funky. Let's try that again. Instead of a stun, it's a knockup. Like that. Alright. Now, you can, of course, chain that with a stun, but you don't want to... This is also something I can't stress enough. You don't want to blow all your CC before they're able to move, if that makes sense. So if I do that, I don't want to get in there and just... Well, I don't want to miss either. But if I do my ult, I don't want to get in there and just be like, oh, stun. Because they weren't going to go anywhere anyway. They were launched already. So I can do my ult, Nimbus on them, get down, start attacking them. At the point that they start trying to run, face the direction they're going, then do your stun, so they can't get away from you. And at that point, you probably still have your dash. It wouldn't be blown like I just did, but, you know, okay, so we'll try this again. My ult, Nimbus Cloud's getting close. Now I can do my combo. Now they're going to try and run at this point, so whichever way that they're trying to run, turn towards them, stun them, dash in there, and then keep comboing them. Simple as that. But let's get down to the basics of the combos. So we'll start with the clone attack. Hold down your S key, and as you're going, you can just gradually throw out clones. It's really that simple. Super simple. With the jabs, same thing. With the jabs, first one jab. If you don't want to do the repeated jabs, you can just do clones. Bam. There you go. If you want to do the repeat jabs, you can still do a clone at the end of it. Simple as that. Repeat jabs, clone. Repeat jabs, clone. It's that simple. One thing I did find fun with Wukong is you can be flying on your Nimbus and send out a clone. So they're getting attacked essentially from two different directions. Now obviously, they're not going to let you... You can clone at the end of your ult, but you cannot clone during your ult. Don't try to do that. You can't be up here and send out a clone. Now if you press it up here, it's going to send out the clone once you land. But just be mindful of that. You can't just be willy-nilly all over the place and just, you know, send out a clone. Another thing, you cannot clone while jumping. So don't try and catch yourself doing that. Just don't do it. So essentially, his combo guide is not that hard if you want to just know the basics. You can link almost every single one of his attacks. You can link his auto attack into his Q. You can link his auto attack into his A. Heck, you can link his Q into his A into his W. It's just that simple. All of his things go back and forth. They work. You just got to remember that if you want to catch someone getting away, save your stun. So know that if you're going in on a target, if you are actually going towards the target and you think they're going to get away, save your stun for the end. Like, you know, and what I mean by that, because it might sound a little weird, well, if I think they're going to get away, why am I saving it for the end? Because if you blow it at the beginning, you may not actually get what you're trying to do to them. So they're trying to get away. You have Nimbus. Just get after them. Hit them with a clone. They still getting away at the point you drop off Nimbus? Drop that stun. I guarantee you they won't be that far away unless there's someone like Jack whose ult lets him teleport away from you. Now, in which case, if it is Jack, stun him as soon as you can to kill him, because he's just hard to catch. There are a few other hypers that are like that. But again, here we go. I'm going to show you some more basic combos. So auto attack, A. What I'm going to do, a W, A. Alright, one more time. Auto attack, A, W's, A. One more time. Auto attack, A, W's, A. Alright. Okay, so auto attack. Look at that. I'm gonna do it again. Auto attacks. That's all you have to do. I'm not saying it because it's telling you to press E. So auto attacks, I'll say it this time. Hold E and then slide around. Now if you want to get really fancy, auto attacks, hold E, slide around, clones. I missed that clone, so we're gonna do this again, buddies. Alright. Auto attack, Nimbus. There we go. Get a clone out there. And that is one fun thing. Again, I'll show you that. You can just riddle people with auto attack or attacks off your Nimbus like that. So let's see what else we got. Okay, we're gonna do auto attacks. I'm actually gonna pop my W. Auto attacks. I'm actually gonna pop my W. Then I'm gonna hit him with the Q. Clones. Now at this point they're probably trying to get away, so blam. They're likely dead right there. Alright, so again, key things. Hold your stun until you know you need it, or if you're going in and you know you can secure the kill. The W's, mix that in with your auto attack. Do not just go in, do not go up to somebody and just start Wing them. You don't want them to be able to guess when you're going to do that. So you want to mix it in with your, even if you want to mix it in with your Q, and then do it. You know, just mix it up, and then you can just slide in there. One good thing, or one of the many good things about Wukong in this game is he can become very unpredictable because you can slide your skills around and they all flow together well. All right, and your clones, do not forget you cannot clone when you jump, and you can clone after you dash. After, that's key. After. So if you're in the dash, it won't happen till the end of the dash. No matter when you press it, not happening till the end of the dash. Alright. Nimbus can be controlled to go both ways. You can clone while in Nimbus, as many times as you really want to, until the skill wears off. Your ultimate launches everyone in its path up. Q stuns. Again, they can all be interchanged. Now we're going to go on to the item guide. This is my personal guide for Sun Wukong. I was able to test it out on another account because I wanted to do this one fresh. So I'll go into why I build him the way I build him and what you can do to build him to better fit your playstyle. Since he is a bruiser, I like to build him as such. I don't want to do just straight damage and go in there half-cocked and hope to God I assassinate someone, because that's not how he's actually supposed to be played. I know you can change it however you want. If you're really good with him and you can do that, by all means. So let's start. Okay, now I have these items set up in the way that I wish for them to be bought. Any person that I play, whenever I start, I always get my first level of boots. It's just easier for me. I can move in faster, I can get away faster if I need to, and typically I do play people with high damage and I need to get in fast and do something, or if I'm squishy, which usually I am, I need to get out fast. But for him, I got defense and movement speed, because remember, again, his defense and attack damage go up as he levels. Alright, so I'm already starting with additional defense. I'm getting movement speed. Of course, depending on how the game's going, if you want to max out your boots first, I try to usually to do that all the time, unless I'm really confident in the game that I'm playing, then I move on to another item. I would recommend these boots for that. You already have a good starting defense. You get defense plus 10, movement speed plus 50, which gives you a chance to close in on people and be able to take all the hits that they're going to give you, because if you're closing in on a target and they're an ADC or a marksman, you know, they're going to be hitting you the whole time that you're closing in on them. They're not going to just be letting you walk up to them. That's not how that works. So you get a good little bit of defense, get that build up, and then you move in, do what you need to do, and you can get back out, survive the fight, and keep moving forward. Next thing, I only use the Monkey King's Mantle. I don't use any of his other specific, like, to him hyper items, purely because I really like how this works with his my goodness, his passive, Stone Monkey. It enhances it, gives it an additional 25 attack and 25 defense, as you can see down here. And that's at the final stage though. And the attack and defense is +5 on the first part, and you get an additional +5% cooldown. That actually helps when you're trying to do your combo. Say you miss your stun, you have 5% cooldown reduction on that now. So you miss your stun, you can still go in. By the time you finish out a combo, or by the time they're trying to get back away from you, you'll have your stun back up. And that's at level 1. You continue to, and I do try to do this chronologically, I'm telling you guys. It's best if you don't hop around on your items unless you are, for example, building straight tank and then you realize you need damage because no one's damaging anybody on your team. Then yes, hop over to Breath of Fire or hop over to Hellfire Lance, you know. But typically, I like to enforce that you finish out the item that you first started building first. There's only a few situations where I can recommend wholeheartedly that you go into a different item, but in this case, let's keep moving on with this. So my stone monkeys give me attack and defense every time I level. If I'm doing good, or even if I'm doing kind of poorly, I'm getting gold regardless. I can go farm minions, and I do that often. I'll drop down and just go get some minions, come back up, and then, you know, run with my team. Or if I see my team needs me, I'll go up there and help them. So I'm getting gold periodically, and you get gold easily with minions anyway. All you have to do is make sure you hit them when they're dying around you, so to speak. You take it up to the next stage. It's another attack and defense +10, and it gives you an additional cooldown reduction. So you're getting more attack and defense on top of the attack and defense that you get every single time you level. And you already know as you're playing this game, or if you're new to this game, you level progressively throughout as you're playing. I don't mean that for minions and kills. You do get experience from that, but as you're just walking, the game gradually levels you. It's very slow, so you can't just sit there and hope for the best. But my point is, you're going to be farming minions, you're going to be trying to secure kills, you're going to get experience, so your leveling and progression will go hand in hand. And if you start with this item, you're already getting a bonus from attack and defense off your passive every time you level. As you gradually upgrade this item, you're getting bonus on attack and defense. It just works hand in hand. And as you'll notice, if you go down, if you haven't already just read the items, most of these items do that for you. Now this next item, we go to the task force shield. I wanted to get something more bruisery in my build. I already have the attack and defense going for me. Now I wanted defense and max health. This way, yeah, my defense is high, but now what if somebody has defense penetration on the enemy team? Oh, well, at that point, I need to make sure I have enough health. Stage 1, it's already giving me 15 defense and max health +100, so I'm already getting beefy off stage 1. You keep going, it's another 10 defense and another 100 on your max health. Plus you get health regen at that point of 25% and another cooldown reduction of 5%. So that's an additional 5% on your cooldown reduction. Think about your clones, think about your jabs, think about your stuns, think about your Nimbus if you need to get in and out. And think about that ult of yours too. You don't know how many times it's going to help you if your team's in a bad spot and you go in behind them and launch the enemy team. That gives your whole team a way to get out or to reinitiate, re-engage, and wipe the team. Just off of that, and that's just off 2 items right there that have cooldown reduction. You're able to build this up. So it helps. It helps not only you, it helps your team. That's one thing that I do want to stress as well. You are playing this game in a team format, yes, but you also have to play a little bit for yourself. What are you good with? What works with you? So while I'm showing you these items, I want you to kind of get it in your head what you're going to do, what you're going to build, and what you like to play. Don't just take my item build and try to copy it completely, because it may not work for you. It may not. Now we're still going on. Stage 3, it's final build. You're getting another 150 max health. And then you're getting health regain 50%, cooldown reduction 10%. And it increases defense in proportion to max health. So you've already got all this defense that you clocked on from Monkey King's Mantle. You've already got this defense that you clocked on from your passive. Now you're getting more defense based on the max health you have. And you just slammed health in this item, in this one item. You just slammed this character. You're like, hey man, you need some health, let's beef you up. And you just threw it at him. So just imagine how much defense you're going to have. And of course, it has to be at 3,500 or above. It increases defense by 15. When max health is more than 4,250, it increases it by 30. Trust me, you're going to get there. If you do use this build, you will get there. Now the next item is Devil's Jacket. Now this is the one I'll say Normally I want to do this next, but I will switch it out for something more attack if I see the need to. You know, if I see the need to. If I don't, I'm going to keep going with my bruiser because I'm still getting attack damage as I level, and by this point I may be fully leveled, I may not. I'm not sure. It just really depends on how the game's going for you. Remember, these matches don't last that long, so these last 3 items can be swapped out, in my opinion. Just do them in whatever order you'd like. That helps and benefits you in your playstyle. This one just dumps health and defense again. Now at the end, here's the fun part of the Devil's Jacket. When hit, decreases the enemy's attack by 1% for 3 seconds up to 10 times. So up to 10% for 3 seconds, basically. Now, again, remember the passive on this. Max health, you know, you get more defense. You're already putting defense on this, so you're going to get more defense. So you're basically trying to make yourself kind of unkillable and be able to go in and still do damage. That's sort of how this goes. Now the Hellfire Lance is just attack and max health. Again, the max health. All these items aren't just put in here randomly. They go hand in hand to help each other out, to go towards my passive. That's why I use the Monkey King's Mantle, because it helps my passive. And these items help each other going towards my passive. Anyway, it gives you 10 attack, max health 100, max health 200, cooldown reduction again. Attack 10, max health 200, cooldown reduction. Breath of Fire, these two can actually can be switched out. Again, these last 3 items, it depends on how the game's going, which way I'll do it. Now, with Hellfire Lance, it does increase your defense by 10% of your attack. So your attack's been going up this whole time, and this item itself adds attack. So now you're getting more defense. Alright, now Breath of Fire is attack and max health. Now, after using a skill, your next regular attack, regular attack within 5 seconds inflicts an additional 100% attack damage. Cooldown is 3 seconds. So, it counts the clones as a skill. So let me repeat that, just so you can kind of get what I'm saying. It counts the clones as a skill. If you remember, you can auto clone and keep autoing. So let me show you. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to reset all this so it doesn't interfere with with the fight I'm about to do with her. So auto clone. That's just how that works. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I was trying to reset her. You see? Now here's a fun one too. So auto. Y'all caught that? I hope. I'm gonna show you again. Auto. Ooh, I messed that one up. So auto. W. I'm gonna keep tapping W. Then bam. All right. And here's a good thing too. Remember the stun. It just all works for you. Okay, your ults, it will proc off this as well. See? That's why that item is good for him. Now I'm gonna reset everything here. Yes. And then we're gonna go back in and I'm gonna show you all the just the fight. I'm gonna put us up to level 6. She may or may not kill me. I don't know. I have not actually fought a Blue Rose at Wukong yet. Alright. We're going to get her on. Leave her at elite. Apply. Alright. I don't really want to just run at her. Okay. You see now with her, I definitely need to stun her. This is pretty outrageous. Because I forgot she had a stun. You see, that just canceled out my stun. Now I need to do something crafty or else I am dead. So, what we're going to try and do... Where'd she go? Ah, went up. And back down. Okay, had this been an actual person, she would have killed me. But that's just an example of how this would look with just the skills and trying to do the combos with someone fleeing. I wasn't expecting her to do that again. But let's see. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do it with just... Let's see, we'll do it with just the boots. See how much of a difference it makes. Okay, she's still able to just like rip into me. Y'all see that, right? Of course you do. But see, she can't really account for the clones. She can account for the damage and stun me and try to get out, but she can't really do much for the clones that are coming at her because there's no real way to defend against that. They're just gonna hit you unless you get away from me, that is something you should keep in mind too. Those clones are gonna land unless they can get away from you, which isn't really the easiest thing to do with Wukong, as you are seeing. He's not the easiest hyper to escape. Alright, I'm actually going to let that be. Oh, y'all kind of get the idea of what I'm saying and how his passive works. Let me reset everything. No, I'm not going to restart the practice. I don't feel like doing that. Well, you get the idea, guys. So this has been a basic combo tutorial and very basic item guide. Even though I went into a little bit more detail than I did with the other hypers, this was still kind of basic, if we're going to be honest. I will do another if y'all request it. If y'all have a specific hyper that y'all want to see done, I'll be happy to do it for you guys. If not, I'll be moving on to do other things. You could definitely make recommendations in the comment sections on my channel. I'm more than happy to oblige. This was actually a recommendation. Well, guys, have a good morning, noon, night, day, whatever it is you're having. Get a JOHOHO in there somewhere. It always makes it better. I will catch you guys on the next video.